Caitlin Clark's story is one of those rare journeys in sports that feels both extraordinary and inevitable, as if all the moments of her life, her childhood games in Iowa, her fearless shooting, her competitive nature, and her sheer love of basketball, were pointing her toward something bigger than herself. She was born on January 22, 2002, in Des Moines, Iowa, a place where sports run deep in the fabric of everyday life. From a young age, Caitlin's family could tell there was something special about her. Her parents, Brent and Ann, were not just supportive but deeply involved in her development, encouraging her curiosity, work ethic, and drive. Growing up in a family where competition was a constant, her father having played college basketball and her siblings also deeply connected to sports, Caitlin never knew a world without a ball in her hand. The driveway became her first arena, the neighborhood her first stage, and every makeshift game a rehearsal for the kind of player she would eventually become. From the earliest days, what set Caitlin apart wasn't just her natural skill but her mindset. Even as a little girl, she carried herself with a seriousness about the game that seemed beyond her years. While other kids might have played just for fun, Caitlin was always studying, always pushing herself. She had a sense of anticipation, a hunger for the ball, and a belief that every shot she took had a purpose. Her family recalls that she would watch older players, memorize their moves, and then head outside to practice until it felt like second nature. There was something relentless about her drive, the kind of focus that can't be taught, only nurtured. In Iowa, where basketball has long been a community staple, Caitlin quickly began making a name for herself at the youth level, showing flashes of the player she would one day become, a scorer who was fearless, a leader who was unafraid to command attention, and a competitor who refused to back down from any challenge. High school became the stage where her reputation exploded. Playing for Dowling Catholic High School, she established herself as one of the most dominant players in the country, not just in Iowa. Her scoring ability was breathtaking, but it wasn't just the points that caught attention, it was the way she scored them. Caitlin could shoot from anywhere, and she carried herself with a confidence that dared opponents to stop her. She wasn't afraid of the big moment, wasn't afraid of the spotlight, and never once shied away from pressure. Her scoring records piled up, her highlights spread beyond Iowa, and by the time her high school career was over, she was a household name in the world of girls basketball recruiting. Colleges lined up for her commitment, each knowing they weren't just recruiting a shooter, but a potential generational star. When she chose the University of Iowa, Caitlin made a statement that carried weight. In an era when so many young athletes felt compelled to leave home in search of greater opportunities, she stayed loyal to her roots. She decided that her journey, her story, and her basketball would grow in the same state where she first learned to love the game. That decision was more than symbolic. It became the heartbeat of what made her so relatable and inspiring. She wasn't just playing for herself, she was playing for Iowa, for the community that raised her, for every young girl who wanted to believe that greatness could come from home. From her very first games as a Hawkeye, it was clear Caitlin was different. She wasn't adjusting to the college level, she was redefining it. With her long-range shooting, her fearless drives to the rim, her pinpoint passing, and her ability to control the game, she immediately became must-watch television. Analysts struggled to find comparisons for her because she seemed like a blend of everything: a scorer with the range of an NBA star, a playmaker with vision rarely seen, and a competitor with the fire of a seasoned veteran. Opponents could prepare for her, but stopping her was another story. Her freshman year wasn't just a success, it was a phenomenon. She instantly became the face of Iowa basketball, a beacon for the women's game, and a name that fans across the country were eager to watch. But Caitlin Clark's greatness has never been just about stats, though her numbers are staggering. What makes her story powerful is the way she carries herself. She has charisma on the court, that rare mix of joy and intensity. She smiles after deep threes, she screams after big plays, and she lifts her teammates with her energy. Yet behind that outward confidence lies years of work, years of repetition, years of hours spent honing her craft when nobody was watching. She embodies the idea that greatness doesn't happen overnight, it is earned in the quiet, unglamorous grind. As her college career progressed, Caitlin's influence began to spread far beyond Iowa. She became one of the leading voices in elevating women's basketball, drawing in fans who may have never before tuned into the women's game. Her ability to pull up from well beyond the three-point line became a signature, a highlight that fans eagerly anticipated. Every time she crossed half court, The crowd buzzed with anticipation, knowing something magical might happen. And when those shots fell, and they often did, it wasn't just about 3 points on the scoreboard. It was about belief, about possibility, about expanding the limits of what women's basketball could be. Caitlin's journey has also been defined by leadership. She isn't just the star, she's the anchor of her team. Her teammates feed off her confidence, her willingness to take responsibility, and her ability to deliver when the moment is most intense. She demands excellence, but she also gives everything she has to elevate the people around her. That balance, between personal greatness and team commitment, is what makes her so unique. She isn't playing for headlines or highlights, she's playing to win, to inspire, to push the game forward. In many ways, Caitlin Clark has become a cultural figure, not just an athlete. She has become a symbol of what's possible when talent meets work ethic, when confidence meets humility, and when passion meets purpose. She represents the dreams of countless young girls who watch her and think, that could be me. She represents the future of women's sports, a future where athletes are celebrated not just for their gender but for their greatness. She represents the power of staying true to one's roots, proving that you don't have to leave home to make an impact on the world. Her story is still being written, and that's what makes it so exciting. Caitlin Clark isn't finished. Far from it. Every game she plays adds another chapter, another memory, another reason for fans to believe. She is chasing championships, chasing records, and chasing a legacy that will last long after her playing days are over. But perhaps the most remarkable part of her journey is that no matter how high she climbs, she has never forgotten where she started. A young girl in Iowa with a dream and a ball in her hand. As the future unfolds, Caitlin will continue to face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Every great athlete does. But if her story has taught us anything, it is that she thrives in those moments. Pressure doesn't weaken her. It sharpens her. Doubt doesn't deter her. It fuels her. She is the kind of athlete who redefines expectations, who sets new standards, and who forces everyone to rethink what's possible. That is why her story matters, not just to Iowa fans, not just to women's basketball fans, but to anyone who believes in the power of dreams, hard work, and perseverance. Caitlin Clark's journey is bigger than basketball. It's about family, about community, about resilience, and about legacy. It's about a young woman who turned a childhood passion into a national phenomenon. It's about showing the world that greatness has no boundaries, no limits, and no shortcuts. And as we watch her continue to rise, we are reminded of the beauty of sports, the way it can inspire, the way it can connect, and the way it can turn ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing a game, she's telling a story, one shot, one pass, one victory at a time. And as her journey continues, one thing is certain, the world will be watching, because Caitlin Clark has already proven that she is more than a player, she is a movement. Thank you for watching and joining us on this journey through the life and rise of Caitlin Clark. If her story inspired you, moved you, or reminded you of the power of chasing dreams, don't keep it to yourself, share it with others. Make sure to like this video, drop a comment with your favorite Caitlin Clark moment, and subscribe so you never miss another story like this.